Hey everyone, last week I had posted a video explaining how to find out if any of your current inventory has ASIN quantity restrictions. It's kind of a hot button issue on Amazon right now. Today I wanted to take a little bit more time to go into detail on some of the things we learned at the ScanPower conference about ASIN quantity restrictions. So they're here to stay. ASIN quantity restrictions aren't going anywhere. The reason why is because Amazon, their warehouses are full. They have too much stuff. They're not in the storage business. They don't want to be in the storage business, and they're not going to be. And this is partly in response to a lot of the private label, the increase in private label products. So when you do private label correctly, when you do it intelligently, doesn't really affect Amazon in a negative way. But what a lot of people did is they started private labeling the same thing, that same low-hanging fruit. And so Amazon took a look at their inventory and said, hey, we have too many garlic presses. Like, there's no reason that 50 different sellers need to have this many garlic presses in stock. And so they've had to put in some restrictions to limit that. This is not an attack on private label, so please, no, don't just hold your tweets. Don't send me nasty comments about how private label is awesome. Yes, it is. It can be. But not every seller is awesome. And Amazon had to respond to a problem that they were having. If they could go back and pull back on these ASIN quantity restrictions and kind of start over, they would. When Amazon launched this and kind of rolled it out, they didn't realize how much it was going to affect sellers and what that negative impact was going to be. So they're sorry, but they can't stop what they've already started. So they are making changes, and you're going to see certain ASINs no longer restricted and other ones are going to get added, but the program's here to stay, and it's not going to, they have no intention of going back. So one thing that they did say is that they want to add this little bit of information into their API. And what that means for sellers is that if you are scanning an item and your scanning software picks up that little tidbit of information, it'll let you know that you can only send in 3 of this, or 6 of that, or none of this one particular ASIN. So they want buyers to be able to make intelligent buying decisions, sellers to make intelligent buying decisions. They don't want to hurt third-party sellers. This isn't an act of, they're not trying to be malicious. It's a business decision. It's not personal. This widely is affecting shoes and books from what we can tell just out there in the atmosphere, the selling world. Shoes, a lot of people are selling them. Well, I should say a lot of people are sending them in. They're not selling them. Shoes is a tricky category, and this is something that I learned, and a lot of other sellers kind of learned the hard way, that a good rank doesn't necessarily mean something's going to sell. There's more to that category than just looking at rank. There's a learning curve to it, and it was the new hot category, so everyone jumped in, and now there's a lot of shoes in the warehouse that aren't moving. So you're seeing these restrictions there. Some experiments have been done between sellers, which leads us to believe that your metrics play a part in this. So if you have an account with a large number of SKUs and you're a long-term hold kind of person, so you're not moving a lot of your inventory within a 30 to 60 day time frame, you might see more restrictions than someone with an account where they're constantly churning inventory. Like I said, we've had some sellers do experiments where some sellers are seeing these restrictions and others aren't for the same ASIN, which leads us to believe that metrics play a part. Couple things that you might want to be prepared for that could be coming down the pike. Seasonal restrictions. So what Amazon is seeing is a large amount of abuse in the long-term storage fee program. And what do I mean by that? Let's say you go out and buy a bunch of Christmas clearance in January, Christmas seasonal stuff, not toys. but like Christmas decorations. And so you don't want those to get hit with selling fees, long-term storage fees in August. So you wait until February 20th to send them in. Yeah, Amazon's noticing that. So if you are trying to find the loophole in the long-term storage fee program, they've got your number. And they're not even going to allow certain ASINs to be sent in until a specific date. They're not in the storage business. Just remember that. So if your business model is to buy a bunch of stuff in January and then send it all into the warehouse and let it sit for months so that you can sell it next Christmas, you're not going to be able to do that in the future. We don't have a date on when that's coming, but anticipate it. Make your changes now. Adapt now. Another thing that will likely be occurring is ASINs that have very high ranks. So books with a rank of 5 million, toys with a rank of 1 million. And I'm just throwing numbers. I don't have the specific numbers here, but just as an example, as a hypothetical. Those items in the future might not even be Prime eligible. What do I mean by that? You can still sell an 8 million ranked book. You're not going to be able to send it to FBA if they decide to make these changes. So you can merchant fulfill all day because, again, Amazon is not in the storage business. So anything that if your business model is to use them as a storage facility versus a distribution center, if that's your model, they're making changes to do away with that. So we originally saw long-term storage fees. That program went from a 12-month to a 6-month time frame. Now we're seeing ASIN quantity restrictions. And in the future, you're going to see seasonal restrictions as well as items not being eligible for FBA at all. This is all in response to the fact that sellers are using Amazon to store inventory, not just distribute it. So I hope these things are helpful. Again, adapt now. Make changes in your business now, knowing these changes are coming. Don't get caught. Don't get blindsided. Amazon is sorry that this blindsided everyone. I know people think Amazon's this malicious entity that is out to get them. They're not. They're just a really, really giant mega company. And they rolled this program out without really giving us a lot of notice, and they apologize. But what's done is done. So adapt or die. I mean, that's kind of the name of the game. I hope this helps. Comment below. Like this video if you want more videos like this. And please share this with anybody you think would help. And subscribe. If you don't already subscribe, please subscribe. We'd love to have you. Thank you so much, and we'll chat again soon.